Good morning, students. I'm Zakia. So today I'm going to teach about the plant anatomy and physiology. So before going into it, hope you all doing good in this quarantine, and so let us not worry about anything. So this is a subject called biology, right? So in this subject, what is biology? So before entering into the subject, we have to know the meaning called what is biology. So let us know what is biology. Biology is the study of living things and non-living process. Okay, so this is nothing but the study of life forms. So we also studying the biology as living things and also as non-living things, right? So this biology, this term biology is named by the two authors called Lamarck and the Trevirness. So what happens is this Lamarck and Trevirness, they actually named the term called biology. So this biology is nothing but studying of the life forms and non-living things. Okay. So without knowing about what is biology, if we start studying about the plant anatomy and physiology, what is the use of it? So you have to know about the meaning of biology, right? So that is what called as biology, okay? Nothing but, so if someone asks you what is biology, you can tell it is the studying of living things and non-living process or the study of life forms, okay? So the next is, okay, what are the two parts that comes in the botany, that is biology, that is botany and zoology. So there are two parts that comes under the biology, that is botany and zoology. So what is this botany? Botany means the study of plants and zoology means the study of animals. So who named this term botany? So what is this botany? So who named this term botany is nothing but the author called Theophrastus. So this author Theophrastus named the botany. So what is this botany? The study of plants. Okay. Now what is zoology? Zoology is study of animals. So the study of animals is called zoology. Who named this zoology? The author called Aristotle. So Aristotle is the one who named this zoology. So who is Aristotle? He is the father of biology. So why this Aristotle is named the father of biology is, he is the one who did lots of researches in biology. So 80% to 90% of researches is done by Aristotle. He is the one who initiated the term. So that's why he is called the father of biology. So biology is a Greek word. Okay, biology is how this biology came is, it came from the Greek word. The word bios means life. Bios means life and logos means study. So the studying about the life, that is the living and non-living organisms, is called as biology. Okay, now you can have the idea of what is biology and who is the father of biology. Though this does not comes under the chapter, it's just a general knowledge to know what is biology. So now let us get inside the topic, that is plant anatomy and physiology. Okay, so now before entering into this topic, okay, let us know how this plant came. How this plant evolved. So plant வந்து தானா அப்படியே வந்து soil இருந்து வளர்ந்துச்சா அப்படினா? No, it does not evolve. It evolved from the atoms. So what is this atoms? Atoms is the minute tiny particle which is not visible through the eye. So it is invisible. Okay. These atoms together forms the molecules. Molecules is nothing but the group of atoms. Okay. What these molecules done? These molecules again combine and form the cell. What this cell done? Again this cell together group and forms the tissues. And these tissues together forms the organs. And organs together completely form the organ system, that is plant. So again, let me tell you, okay, let's confuse, okay, don't get confused. Let me tell you step by step, okay. Now what is this? Atoms. Atoms, what happens together? So atoms together forms the molecules, okay. Molecules together forms the cell. Cell together forms the tissue. The group of tissue forms the organs. What are all the organs? The organs is nothing but the stem, leaf, root. So that is the organs of the plants, right? So that is the organs, and finally the organs is formed by the, finally what is this organ form? The plant. So what happens? Finally the organ forms into plants. Okay. So what are all these things? Nothing but when the atoms to molecules, molecules to cell, that means unicellular. So only one cell, when the together forms the atoms, atoms together forms the molecule, and molecules all together form one cell, then it is called unicellular. Uni means one, cellular means that is cells. So if it is one cell, then it is unicellular. And if the cell groups, okay, if the cell groups and forms the tissues together organs, so that everything comes under the multicellular category. Multicellular means many, cellular means cells. So what are the unicellular and multicellular organisms? Unicellular means chlorella and chlamydomonas. Multicellular means herbs, shrubs, trees. Okay. So now you have the idea of what is unicellular and what is multicellular and how this plant came. Okay. So now the next is plant anatomy. So before entering into the anatomy, we have to know what is the meaning of anatomy, right? So now the plant anatomy. So plant anatomy is nothing but the studying of the internal structure of the organisms. Plants, okay, not organisms, plants. So because this is the plant anatomy. So now internal structure of plants. How we will study the internal structure of plants means by doing the transverse section. So you may ask, what is the transverse section? How we can study the plant internal structure? Means nothing but by using the help called microscope. So what happens is, for example, let me give you an example. What is this? This is a radish, right? So what is this? This is a taproot. It is the example for taproot. So what are all the other examples like this? Taproot example, beetroot, potato, radish, carrot. All these are example for the taproot. So what happens is, now what I am doing the cross section or transverse section of the root. What happens? I took the slice of this root. Okay. This is the nothing but the transverse section. Transverse section nothing but cutting the root and slicing it. And what happens is, I am keeping this particular root into the microscope and examining this internal structure. So studying about the internal structure is called plant anatomy. Okay. That is what I have wrote, the internal structure. What are all the internal structures? It can be stem. Stem oda internal structure padikalam. Leaf oda internal structure padikalam. Root oda internal structure padikalam. So together reading these three structures internally. So internal structure, every internal structure padikarom by the cross section. So cutting it, keeping inside the microscope and examining it. All these steps comes under the anatomy. Okay. What is this word ana means? Ana means as under and tami means to cut. That is cutting the surface and studying the under, that is internal structure is called anatomy. So now you know what is the meaning of anatomy. So what is the meaning of anatomy? The studying of the internal structures of the particular plants. What are the structures of the plant? Plant, that is stem, leaf and root. Okay. So now you understand what is plant anatomy. Who is this father of plant anatomy? Nothing but the author called Nehemiah Grew. So repeat it once again. Who is the author? The author called Nehemiah Grew. His spelling is Nehemiah. Nehemiah Grew. Grew. So the father of the plant anatomy is Nehemiah Grew. Why he is called as father of plant anatomy is this Nehemiah Grew is actually what he did is he actually did a many research of plant anatomy and physiology, and he is called as father of plant anatomy. It can also comes in one mark question. Who is the father of plant anatomy? You have to say Nehemiah Grew. Nehemiah space Grew. Nehemiah Grew. So he is the one who actually differentiated the Cree differentiator into stem and the root. So you will not have to write who is the father of plant anatomy and about the description and all. So you just have to know who is the father of plant anatomy, Nehemiah Grew. Okay, now you understand. Next, the tissue. So, before entering into the actual topic, we have to know what is the tissue, okay? What this tissue plays, because whenever we study about the internal structure, the first tissue we have to analyze is about the tissue. So, we have to know about what is the tissue. So, this tissue is nothing but the group of cells. Have already told you what is the tissue. So, the tissue is nothing but the group of cells. What is the function of the tissue? So, you can able to see what is this diagram is all about. What is this? This is a tissue. So, what are all the structures that is present? Nothing but the group of cells. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, there are many cells, okay. So, all these cells together forms the tissue, okay. This is a tissue. So, now this tissue can be similar or dissimilar structure. That is, it is not necessary for every tissue to be in the same shape, same order. It can be randomized order, and also it is from similar and dissimilar origin. That is, it can be from any place. Origin means the starting evaluation of the tissue. So, it can be at any place, but it has the same type of functions, okay. The tissue, whatever the shape it is, wherever it came from, but it is having the only same functions, okay. The function of the tissue is same, but it is from similar or dissimilar structure, similar or dissimilar origin, okay. So, there are two types of tissues. They are meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. So, there are two types of tissue. They are meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. How to pronounce this meristematic? Meristematic. Meristematic tissue. M-E-R-I-S-T-A-M-A-T-I-C. Meristematic tissue. Okay, what is this meristematic tissue? So, I have the example for the meristematic tissue. I am showing this into a live, okay. So, what is this? This is a plant, right? So, there are many leaves in this plant and this is a stem. So, this particular tip, this is actually growing. Okay, this actually grows and forms lots of trees, branches, leaves, okay. So, this particular tip always divides. That is what I have written here. This divides actively and it is also called as the growing tissue because it is dividing actively. It goes on dividing. This is called as meristematic tissue, and the stem, this is also a meristematic tissue that had evolved, okay. So, this is a permanent tissue. It does not divide now. But this is the meristematic tissue and it goes on dividing. So, that is the difference between the meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue, okay. That is, the meristematic tissue will be on the tip and the permanent tissue will be the permanent and it will not develop. That is the tip, okay. I have given here the example. This is the meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. The permanent tissue is nothing but the non-dividing cell. So, that is what I have said this, the non-dividing cell. So, it won't divide, but this is dividing continuously, okay. That is the permanent tissue. This is the non-dividing cell. You can able to see this is the meristematic tissue, this is the permanent tissue, okay. So, now To study about the tissues, the author called Sachs in 1875, what this author done is, he actually classified the tissue system. Who is this author? The author Sachs. S-A-C-H, Sachs. Okay. So he is the German botanist who actually done lots of research and experimental study on the plant anatomy and physiology. So what he done is, he actually experimented many things. So he is the one who, what he done is, he divided this tissue system into 3 types. So there are 3 types of tissue system. They are epidermal or dermal tissue system, ground tissue system, and vascular tissue system. So let me repeat once again. Epidermal or dermal tissue system, ground tissue system, and vascular tissue system. So there are 3 type of tissue system. So let me tell one by one what is the epidermal tissue system, what is the ground tissue, and what is the vascular tissue system. Okay, let us enter into the what are the 3 types. So the first type of tissue system is the epidermal tissue system. So what this epidermal tissue system does is, it is the, so from the name you can able to see, epi means outer layer and dermal means the layer. Epi means out, dermal means layer. So epidermal layer system, that is tissue system. So what happens is, so it is the outermost layer of the plant, that is leaf, root, and the stem. Okay, so the outermost layer is called epidermis. That is the outermost layer. This is the epidermis. Okay. What are all the structures that is present in the outermost layer? Okay. What are all the structures? They are stomata, cuticle, trichome, and root hair. Okay. There are epidermis, stomata, cuticle, trichome, and root hair. So what is this? Epidermis means the outer layer with no space. That is, you can able to see in this diagram, there will be no space. Okay, so there is no space in the outer layer. That is the epidermis. Okay, and next stomata. Stomata is nothing but the minute pores that is present on the surface. That is the stomata. And the cuticle. The cuticle is nothing but the waxy layer that is present on the outer surface of the leaf. So if you take this leaf as the example, the outer layer you can actually feel the touch waxy layer. So that is the cuticle. So that is the cuticle and the epidermal outgrowth. So whenever you take a leaf as the example, you can see a small hairs that is present outside the outside layer of the leaf. That is the trichome. Okay, so in this stem and in the leaf, you can able to have all these parts. That is epidermis, stomata, cuticle, and epidermal outgrowth. But in the root, the outer layer is not the epidermis, it is called rhizodermis. Yes, it is rhizodermis or H-I-Z-O-D-E-R-M-I-S. So the rhizo means root, dermis means the layer. So the outer layer of the root is not the epidermis, it is the rhizodermis. And next, the epidermal outgrowth. That is the root hairs. For example, if I take this radish as an example as a taproot, it also has the outer hairs. So it is not called as trichome, it is called as root hairs. So the parts differentiate when we take the structure. So in the stem and the leaf, the outer structure is called epidermis, but when it comes in the root, the outer layer is called rhizodermis and the outer hairs is called, what is outer hairs is called? Root hairs. Now, you know what is the epidermis. Okay. So what is epidermis function? So what is the particular function of this epidermis? What are all the structures does in the epidermis? It is nothing but what happens is this epidermis, it protect the inner tissue from the sunlight. So whenever the sunlight is on the leaf, what happens is this epidermis actually protect the leaf from the sunlight. Not only the leaf, the stem, the root, everything is protected. Which is protected from the sunlight? Nothing but the epidermis, that is the outer layer that is present. So the stomata is nothing but the nose. It is also called as nose. What our nose does? Respiration, right? We actually breathe and let the carbon dioxide out and oxygen in. That is what this stomata does. Why this stomata does? Because it is the minute pores. So these pores on the surface of the leaf, what is done? It actually exchange the gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. So this type of gaseous exchange is done by the stomata. So whenever the epidermis is the protection of inner outer layer, and the stomata, what is stomata does? It has the gaseous exchange and the root hair. What this root hair done is, when you let the water in here, the water it absorbs. So the root absorbs the water. The roots absorb the water. ஓகே, நம்ம ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு பிளான்ட்டுக்கு தண்ணி ஊற்றும் போது அந்த தண்ணி உள்ளே போகுது இல்லையா சீக்கிரமாக, அது யார் பண்ணுறாங்க அப்படின்னா, யார் அந்த தண்ணி உள்ளே எடுக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னா, தட் இஸ் நத்திங் பட் தி ரூட் hairs. Okay, now you know about the three functions. What is this? Epidermis, stomata and the root hair oda function தெரிஞ்சிச்சு. So this is the epidermal tissue system. Next, the ground tissue system. Next ground tissue system பற்றி பார்க்குறோம். ஓகேவா, மேலே இருக்கிற லேயர் முடிஞ்சிச்சு. இப்போ என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, மேலே இருக்கிற லேயர் எபிடர்மிஸ், அதுக்கு கீழே இருக்கிற லேயர் இருக்கு இல்லையா, அதுக்கு cortex, that is called as cortex. And next, below this cortex there is a round circle called endodermis. Endodermis உள்ள இன்னொரு circle இருக்கு, that is pericycle. And in between this there is on between this circle, that center part is called as pith. P-I-T-H, pith. So all this, so மேலே இருக்கிற எபிடர்மிஸும் உள்ள இருக்கிற எண்டோடர்மிஸ் தவிர மிச்சம் எல்லாமே கிரவுண்ட் டிஷ்யூ சிஸ்டமில் வந்துடும். That is all the tissues except epidermis and vascular tissue system. So vascular tissue system illama epidermal tissue system illama which எல்லா partsமே ground tissue systemல வந்துரும். What are all the parts? Cortex, endodermis, pericycle, pith. Okay, so now what are all the structures that is present in the ground tissue system? Cortex, endodermis, pericycle and pith. Okay, so in the ground tissue system la என்னென்ன types of cells இருக்கு அப்படினு பார்க்கலாம். என்னென்ன இருக்கு? parenchyma cells இருக்கு, collenchyma cells, sclerenchyma cells. Okay, parenchyma cells, collenchyma cells, sclerenchyma cells. So three types of cells இருக்கு. ஓகேவா? parenchyma cells ஓட வேலை என்னன்னா storage and photosynthesis. ஓகே, ஸ்டோரேஜ்னா என்ன ஸ்டோர் பண்ணும்? ஃபுட் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ், வாட்டர் மினரல்ஸ்னால் ஸ்டோர் பண்ணி வைக்கும். யாரு? parenchyma cells. And photosynthesis. What is this photosynthesis? I've already said you in the previous slide, which one does the photosynthesis? Stomata, right? Stomata oda வேலை என்னன்னா photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? So whenever the light falls on the plant, what is the light? Sunlight falls on the plant, so the carbon dioxide takes in and the oxygen lets out. That is nothing, that is the gaseous exchange is called as photosynthesis. So this parenchyma cells does storage and photosynthesis. Okay, and now this collenchyma. What this collenchyma does? It actually growing rich and gives the mechanical strength to the plant. So when you take a plant, the growing level and the strength, both these are given by the structure called collenchyma cells. And next, sclerenchyma cells. Sclerenchyma cells are nothing but the dead cells. So they also have the function called giving the mechanical strength to the plant. Now if this plant is standing firmly, it's because of the two cells, that is nothing but the parenchyma cells and the sclerenchyma cells. Okay, next. Now now we have seen about the epidermal tissue system and ground tissue system, right? Now we are going to see about the vascular tissue system. What is this vascular tissue system? Vascular அப்படினாவே நீர்த்தன்மை, that is the water quantity, the fluid quantity, that is called vascular tissue system. So what are the vascular tissue system? What is this vascular tissue system? Nothing but the xylem and phloem tissues. Adada, what is this xylem and phloem tissues and why this came? I will tell you what is this xylem and phloem works, okay? What this xylem does is, it transports the waters and minerals to the plants. What it transports? Water and minerals, okay? And what this phloem does is, it transports the food materials. So xylem oda வேலை வந்து தண்ணி வந்து பிளான்ட்ஸ்க்கு அனுப்புறது வேலை, and phloem வந்து ஃபுட்ஸ் வந்து பிளான்ட்ல இருக்கிற ஃபுட் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ்லாம் அனுப்பி and also ஸ்டோர் பண்ற வேலை. Okay? Now you can notice this arrow mark. Why I have given this upward arrow mark is because what this xylem does is, it's actually transport water. So whenever you let the water into the soil, this xylem absorbs the water from the ground level and it takes to all the parts of the plants, right? So that is what this xylem does. So that is why I have given this arrow mark from the down to upward. But when you come to the phloem, this phloem what it does? So whenever you let the water in, this phloem actually converts this water into food. So this phloem converts the water into food and it actually transports to all the parts of the plant, and the remaining food is stored inside the phloem. So the remaining fluid that is stored inside the phloem is called tubers. So and the phloem வந்து வாட்டருக்கு உள்ள வந்து ஸ்டோர் பண்ணி இருக்கிற பேர் வந்து tubers அப்படினு சொல்வாங்க. That is not the food that we eat. It is the plant food. So let us not confuse, okay? This is not the something called the food that we eat. It's the plant food, okay? What this plant does, there are two types of actually tissues. What this tissue does? Xylem transports the water and food material. Waters and phloem, what happens? It transports the food materials and stores the food materials. Okay. So this xylem and phloem. So xylem or phloem plant la eppadi irukum அப்படினா அது வந்து தனித்தனியா இருக்காது. It actually have a formage of bundles. Bundles means ஒரு ரவுண்ட் ஒரு சர்க்கிள் உள்ள வந்து ஒரு காம்பாக்டா இருக்கும். It will not be separately. So that bundle is called as vascular bundles. So it is called as vascular bundles. So what are the vascular bundles? There are three types of vascular bundles. They are arranged. So you can have the image of concept, you can have the idea how the xylem and phloem is arranged in this diagram. So this is a diagram for an understanding, and this is the actual microscopic view of the xylem and phloem, how they are visible in the leaf, stem and the root. Okay. There are three types of vascular bundles. They are radial bundles, conjoint bundles and concentric bundles. So let us not confuse. So let me tell one after the other what is the radial bundle. So let us know what is the radial bundle. The radial bundle. So from this word radial, what is this radial means? The radius, that is when you take a circle, from the center to the periphery, that is the radius of the circle. So in the எல்லா ரேடியஸ்லமே என்ன இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா xylem phloem arrange ஆயிருக்கும் in the alternative manner. Okay, what is this alternative manner is? Xylem after phloem. So after phloem there will be xylem. So xylem phloem. So it will be arranged all together periphery to the radius. So that is called as radial bundles. So in the microscopic view, it will be resembling, you have to draw the diagram in the microscopic view where the xylem will be arranged after the phloem, and after phloem there will be again xylem, and after xylem there will be phloem again in the circle way. That is called as radial bundle. So இது எங்க சார் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா example is roots. Okay, so in the 2 marks answer or 1 marks, if somebody asks you what is this radial bundles and how they are arranged, they are arranged in the alternate manner. An example for the radial bundle is roots. Okay, next, conjoint vascular bundles. So we saw the radial bundle. The next one is conjoint vascular bundles. So what is this conjoint vascular bundle means? So from this word you can able to see there is a word called joint. Joint அப்படினாவே xylem-க்கோ phloem-க்கோ ஏதோ ஒரு joint-ல இருக்குது அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். அதை வச்சே நீங்க வந்து conjoint vascular bundles அப்படினா என்னன்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. That is xylem and phloem வந்து joint-ல இருக்கு. So they are conjoint vascular bundles. So again this conjoint vascular bundles is divided into 2 types, that is collateral and bicollateral. Okay, what is this collateral? Collateral means the outer layer la phloem இருக்கும், inner layer la வந்து xylem இருக்கும். The outer layer have phloem and the lower layer have xylem. That is the collateral vascular bundle. Okay, now you know, see the outer layer is phloem, the inner layer is xylem. So you have to draw the diagram something like this. Okay, this is the collateral. Okay, but again the collateral is further divided into open and closed based on the cambium. This is the cambium. This is nothing but the brick-like particles, that is the brick-shaped cells. The brick-shaped cells that is present in between the xylem and phloem. Okay, the brick-shaped cells that is present in between the xylem and phloem is called excuse me. This brick-shaped cells that is present in between the xylem and phloem is called cambium. Okay, now you know what is this cambium. So in the cambium இருக்கா இல்லையா அதை வச்சு இந்த collateral வந்து 2 types ஆ divide பண்றாங்க, that is open and closed type. Okay, இப்போ what is this open type அப்படின்னா, if this cambium is present, so cambium இருந்தா open ஆயிருக்க மாதிரி தெரியுதா, that is open type. Cambium இல்ல அப்படின்னா closed ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு, so that is closed type. So when the cambium is present, that is called closed collateral vascular bundles. When the cambium is absent, that is called closed collateral vascular bundles. Okay, when the cambium is present, that is called open collateral vascular bundles. When the cambium is absent, that is called closed collateral vascular bundles. So now you can able to understand. So always remember, collateral நாவே வெளியில வந்து phloem இருக்கும், உள்ள வந்து xylem இருக்கும். Okay, now you know what is cambium. Okay, next, so and also see I have given the another slide where the open and closed is differentiated. Okay, so the example for open is dicot stem and the example for closed is monocot stem. And next, the bicollateral vascular bundles. So bi means 2. That means there is 2 phloem and 1 xylem and 2 cambium that is present in the collateral. So bicollateral, that is on both the outer surface there will be phloem and in the middle there will be xylem, and xylem surrounding the xylem there will be 2, that is cambium, that is outer and inner cambium. So xylem க்கு மேலயும் கீழயும் வந்து ரெண்டு cambium இருக்கு, that is outer cambium and inner cambium, and surrounding to the xylem that is 2 phloem, that is outer phloem and inner phloem. So that is the bicollateral vascular bundle. So what is this example for bicollateral is nothing but the cucurbita, that is the pumpkin. Okay, the pumpkin ஓட scientific name வந்து cucurbita அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. It comes under the cucumber family. Okay. So next, the concentric vascular bundles. So the third type vascular bundle is concentric vascular bundles. So concentric. So from this name, something that there is called center. That is ஒரு circle ஒரு ஏதோ center இருக்கு அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். So that is concentric. So by keeping this heading, you can able to draw the diagrams easily. So conjoint na xylem and phloem conjoint joint இருக்குனா that is conjoint. So concentric na ஏதோ ஒரு center round இருக்கு. So you have to draw the diagram in this circular manner. Okay. So in this what happens is either xylem surrounds the phloem or phloem surrounds the xylem. So when the xylem surrounds the phloem, it is called amphivasal. So there are two types, amphivasal and amphicribral. Amphicribral. So AMPHICRIBRAL. So amphicribral. So amphicribral phloem is surrounded by the xylem. Example, Dracæna. So you can able to see the plant that is called Dracæna. So the example of amphicribral is Dracæna, and in the amphivasal, the xylem surrounds the phloem. Example is ferns. So, okay, this example is ferns. So what happens here is in the concentric vascular bundles, there are two types, amphicribral and amphivasal. So in the amphicribral, the xylem surrounds the phloem. The phloem surrounds the xylem, example Dracæna, and in the amphivasal, the xylem surrounds the phloem, example ferns. So let me recap you once again what are all the types of the bundles and what are all the further how the bundles are divided further. Okay, let me recap once again. There are three types of tissue system. So what are it? Epidermal, ground tissue and vascular tissue system, right? In the vascular tissue system, there are three types of vascular bundles, that is radial bundles, conjoint bundles and concentric bundles, right? So the radial bundles is nothing but the circular forms where the xylem and phloem is alternatively arranged. And next, the conjoint vascular bundles is nothing but the collateral and bicollateral. There are two types. So what is this collateral? The phloem and xylem are joined in this conjoint. So based on the cambium present or absent, they are divided into what? Bicollateral and collateral, that is open and closed. Okay, open and closed. So collateral is divided into open and closed, okay, based on the cambium. And next, bicollateral vascular bundles, right? And finally, concentric vascular bundles, there are two types, amphivasal and amphicribral. In amphicribral, the phloem surrounds the xylem, example Dracæna, and in amphivasal, the xylem surrounds the phloem, example is ferns. And next, the last but not the least, let us know about the end arc and exarch. Okay, so what is this end arc? So before entering into this end arc and exarch, let us know about the particular term called protoxylem. Okay, so what is, I have also given the hint here. So the protoxylem means small and the metaxylem means big. So whenever this protoxylem comes in the center, and the metaxylem, that is the small circle that comes in the center, and the metaxylem, that is big circle, comes in the outer. First, let us know about the end arc. If you know about the end arc, you can easily say what is the exarch, right? So end arc la எப்போமே வெளியில இருக்கிற சர்க்கிள் வந்து சின்னதா இருக்கும், தட் இஸ் புரோட்டோசைலம். ஸோ புரோட்டோசைலம் உள்ள இருந்து வெளியில மெட்டாசைலம் இருந்துச்சுன்னா தட் இஸ் கால்ட் ஆஸ் எண்ட் ஆர்க். Okay, and when in the exarch there will be vice versa, that is protoxylem will be periphery and metaxylem will be at the center. So what is the example of this end arc is nothing but the stem, and the example of X arc is nothing but the ferns. So remember the example correctly and you have to write the examples correctly, okay? Do not confuse the examples, okay? What happens is in the X arc, in the end arc. So know about either X arc or end arc. எது உங்களுக்கு ஈஸியாக இருக்கோ அது ஒன்று மெமரைஸ் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கிட்டாலே நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து உங்களுக்கு வைஸ் வர்சாவாக இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிடும், ஓகேவா? ஸோ whenever the protoxylem comes in the center, that is the smallest round, that is X arc, end arc, sorry. Whenever the protoxylem comes in the center and the metaxylem in the periphery, that is the end arc. Example is stem, and when the protoxylem comes in the outer surface, that is periphery, and the metaxylem comes to the center, that is called as X arc. Example is ferns. So I hope you all understood this topic on the plant anatomy and physiology. So if there are any queries, please let me know in the section. Thank you.